Hello everybody, this is Frankie Day for Frankie Day Models. Okay, this is live action, a tape-up review on this Infinity 1/32 scale SB2C-4 Helldiver, carry-based dive bomber. Okay, one of my commenters on there, I forget the gentleman's name, please forgive me, sir. I'm very short-minded because of remembering names like that sometimes. The gentleman, wasn't a suggestion involved, just kind of told me he ran a lot of problems. Now, with this kit, I had no idea. There's no locating pins on this thing at all, none at all. So everything is like a vacuum form kit. Everything has got to be made precisely. The only way to make sure quite certain is you got to make a tape up review. You got to take this fuselage has, and you got to made it up real good. So far, they make it pretty good, but there's a little bit of flash on here. It's got to be taken out, and to make this model, I've been hearing bad reports about the kit is very, had a lot of fit issues, a lot of things, especially around the wing areas. So right now we're going to make a video here on checking these fit issues out. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to have the wings on here and check to see if they go on make quite well or anything. But like I say, you got to feel around your fingers and use a flat board always. Don't use the old sand with the back of your hands because you leave marks there. Your hands are better than eyeballs are. They can see right there in your ice cam. If you feel something there that's rough there, it's rough. So you take your sandboard right here and just sand like this. So for the next half an hour or so, kind of join me right here. Right now, I'm kind of concentrating on working on this fuselage, and I got some tape here. I want to tape it together to see how it goes. And we'll go from there. Right now, I'm taking my sanding file board, flat surface, and just kind of going over the edges of the fuselage, make sure there's no obstruction that will cause it to fold out. And we'll go from there. Now this kit looks very wonderful. Now I was toying with it, last night a little bit. It looks like it goes together very well. To me, it does. I don't know. It's all up to the modeler. Some modelers get very, how would you say that? I would say spoiled on kits like Tamaya that go together quite well without using glue. And you don't have to worry about putting no filler on there. Or those that are used to building kits that require less labor. Stuff like sanding all the edges. This kit here is probably taken off a resin mold, transposed into polyurethane or polystyrene plastic, wherever it is. No ABS plastic. This is regular plastic, and it's really kind of quite strong. It's very strong. It's not thin. So it's very strong and has a lot of oomph to it. The surface detail on this thing is wonderful. They must obtain a blueprint for this thing. So what I'm doing now, there's right along here in the fuselage, you can see a little bit of flash where it came off the mold. That's what I'm concentrating on. Once you get them out of the way, you should have a very good fit fuselage. And what the gentleman told me on there, he says a lot of fit issues, especially around the wing area. And we'll find out about that when we get to it here. Now, here we go. Okay, it's one fuselage sanded down. This thing is about the same size as my vacuum form kit. It's a big airplane. The Helldiver was a pretty good sized airplane with a wingspan of 50 feet. It could carry up to 4,000 pounds of bombs. So you know why they call it the base. This thing was the 86 Sky Raider of the 1940s. And the Sky Raider actually was the successor to the Helldiver. They quit using SB2C Helldivers back in that 1954, when the French went to Vietnam, way before we got involved there. And they're using these here Helldivers. Well, they carry Bolsh and a lot of the other ones they have, carriers that they use. As mentioned on Inbox View this yesterday video, all the internal parts like bulkheads and stuff like that, I need those. So instead of using a contour gauge, when I'll take these parts off the trees and get to the internal stuff, I'm going to trace them out on polystyrene plastic I have right here and cut them out using it on my Helldiver on that SB2C-1. Okay, we will right here. Get that out. I don't know why they didn't have locating pins on this thing. You can make them on there. You can have a very fine drill. Okay. Start taping together the fuselage right now, and we'll see if there's any fit issues in joining them. This could change when I have the interior pieces installed. So my fuselage fits like a glove. Yeah. So far, this fuselage looks like it's not going to be no fit issue at all. Like I said a moment ago, that could all change, especially when you install the interior parts to it. So I'm going to start building this too. Won't wait too much longer. I'm going to be tacking that USS Yorktown at 1/350 scale. I will make an inbox view of that before I get done on it. I want to tell you something. Ain't no fit issues all this thing. Especially in the fuselage. Yeah. There's a tape up on the fuselage. I don't see no big issues there. Just the bottom. There's the top. That's all. Not at all. Now, I dallied with the top wings last night. Only two sprues. Each sprue consists of a top wing and a fuselage half. Well, make the top one up here, see how it works. Boy, it fits perfect. That's just the top wing now. That could change once I get the structures on. Boy, it fits good. Man. Also, I think too, I don't know if it's the Affinity kit and starting or the original resin kit. I'm gonna tell you something, boys. Those wings fit perfect on there. They fit good. That fuselage is perfect. That's how big it is with the fuselage on there. The wingstan's probably about a good 20 inches, maybe. Yeah. I just found out this kit here too is a short run kit, and those of you interested in purchasing this kit, do so now before there's a big old spar right there goes through there. Do so because they're gonna be no more. Then the only place you'll be able to get them is on eBay, and once they show up on eBay like that, they ain't gonna be no $150 kit. You can probably pay $2, $3, $450 for one. So they'll be awful expensive. And so I was highly suggest you go ahead and get them now before they ain't gonna be no more. Now that's what gets me about these kits. They make so many of them because they're all short run kits. I think maybe it's because of the molds. May have the blame. But evidently that mold was made for resin kits. And they went ahead and made so many resin kits and they turned around and went ahead and used up the mold by making ejection models of this out of polystyrene plastic. I rightly don't know. I'm finding out a lot of companies are that way. They make so many and they shelve the rest of the stuff and go on to something else. Metal solids like Airfix, Revell, Monogram, Aurora, Lindbergh, Mia, Masagawa, you name it. Company's been around for about 50, 60, 70, 80 years. Because they got these tents sticking up on these wings. They stick up like that. That's probably where the screws went holding the wings. So make sure that those are very sanded out flush. That can interfere your fit problem and cause fit issues. That might be the issues the gentleman went through on his. He probably didn't really clean up the kit really well and get all those screws off there, came off the screw trees that leave those little nubs that stick up. And that could pose a problem there too, construction. But you just got to use your fingers to feel anything that's sticking up that could cause an obstruction of joining the wing halves or fuselage shafts, anything. Let's put it together. Okay, that's pretty good here. Now both these wings make very clean. I don't see how well they fit. Ah, come on, leather. Man, really fits damn good. They fit pretty good. Well, I'll tell you something, fellas. Those wings fit pretty good. They really do. I don't think I have a problem there. There's a possibility he could have had a bad kit. There are bad kits out there that won't let you fix them. Always fighting it. Now that button is flush. In the instructions, it tells you to join the top one first. You just can't glue the whole thing entirely and slap that spar because it could have a fit issue. They got to be worked out before you do that. So, like I say, I got these wings perfectly made together. It seems to me this thing fits pretty good. Hell yes, it does. I don't think there'll be no problem there. Yeah, there we go. That fits good. Man. Well, fellas, I don't think there's nothing wrong there. These are the issues I'm trying to, see what the problem could be. And so far, that wing fits pretty good. That fuselage fits perfect. So ain't no fit issue there. But like I mentioned a while ago, guys, all that could change once you put the interior details there. It'll push out the fuselage. You can push this out, push that out, and pretty soon something screwy there. So you got to make sure that you don't want to go there. There might be a lot of trimming here and there on parts, but you got to be worked out before you glue together. So far, this is a very beautiful kit. It truly is. The old Helldiver. A lot of pilots were afraid of these things because they've been hearing a lot of stories about it. And a lot of them, the problems they had wasn't due to pilot error. It was due to issues that hadn't been worked out at the factory. Because, like I said on the inbox review of these things, guys, when these things come out, we're at war. They always have a company test pilot will fly an airplane. They always do. Like Kelly Johnson and all these guys, the designers, they become test pilots as well. And on the way, they know that they can be flown successfully. Is you got to work out the bugs, find out if there's any problems. But what they do at the factory is they turn around and they build the airplane, have the test pilot fly it, takes a couple rounds, loops it here, drops the gear, comes at the landing, and signs off a piece of paper. It's ready to go to war. A lot of them are going out, and a lot of the issues weren't worked out. And I'm quite sure that the Curtiss Aircraft Company, Douglas, Boeing, and the rest of them knew that there'd be some complaints pretty soon. The only way to get complaints is from the pilots who fly them. They say, damn thing's junk. Wheels falls off. Wings fall off, underpowered. Other than that, it's okay, I guess. And they fix those issues. The first issue they had, these things were terribly underpowered. I think he had 1,000 horsepower right cyclone motor. Then they took it up to 16,000 horsepower right cyclone motor. They doubled it almost. It gave a lot more power. Because getting off a pitch deck of a carrier, these things are sluggish anyway. And they just don't have enough power. I'm quite sure you've probably seen movies of these things going off the deck of a carrier. Just you see it taking off, all of a sudden you can see it just dipping in the water and splash down. They call a tin can to pick up the survivors, and the airplane will go to the bottom of the ocean. These things should have been worked out at the plant. But like I say, you're at war, for Christ's sakes. Get them out. If it flies, they'll go to war. These things here were supposed to be the successor to the SB2C Atlas, but the Navy wasn't going to give them up. They knew how successful they really were, and they could be more successful throughout the war. But we could use another dive bomber, what the hell, you know? And they did. Oh, man. Man, that bit's beautiful. Magnificent. Wonderful. I know I'm not going to have problems with these wings. Boy, that fits like beautiful. I think my buddy must have got a bad tip. Wait a second there. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you something, fellas. This wing fits very good. Yeah. Man, it's always good to dry fit stuff before you glue it together. Well, my curiosity has been answered, and I'm not saying that this thing is 100% flawless, which it's not. Some point in time, I'm gonna stumble into something that's gonna fuck things up. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to use that word, but it's not for kids. This video is, so I can keep it that way. But nothing else. Excuse my language, guys. I usually don't like to use language like that. But anyway, Once I get all the interior parts there, that could change. So everything's got to be concise. See, the thing about it that makes it bad is that there's no locating pins for what goes where. But everything is built in this kit for things to fit where it's supposed to go. So you got to follow the instructions. Now, the instructions you get here are about as confusing as a sterile rabbit. Wonderful. I love that plane. When you guys open up your pamphlet book back here, you got to look at those logos. It's not difficult at all. There's just a lot of stuff in here. I got to mention this yesterday. There's your paint callouts. MRP paints. It don't have to be MRP paints. It could be mission model paints, which I love to use. And believe me, it's all out there, guys. It's all out there. Everybody knows the color schedule of an SB2C HELLDIVER. It's all tricolor. White, intermediate blue, non-spec sea blue. That's it. Interior colors, interior green. And details of different colors, which are labeled here on your color callouts. At the bottom, what you do is make yourself a cheat sheet. Here's what I mean by cheat sheet. Instead of reading instructions and going back pages and find out what color it is, a lot of modelers do this. You run into that. Right now, I'll be starting at the cling-up wings of the fuselage. I'm going to be starting on the interior details. All right there. Up there is the numbers of the paint which you need to use. So that way, you got a paint labeled B. You look up B. It's what color is that B right there? Black. B is interior green. E is aluminum. A is Negros black, and D is Negros leather, black leather, and mark them on every sheet that there is on the chapter here, and you have to worry about what's B now? God damn. Oh yeah, B, yeah. That's interior green. You know. So anyway, that make yourself a little cheat sheet up there. I'm very happy with this kit so far. The instructions are not too confusing. What's confusing is stuff like this. There's all these logos right here, icons, logos. The black hexagons right there, most of the part numbers. You see a paint silhouette with a paintbrush and with a numerical order made A to D, A to J on the paints on it. And it goes together very well. Yeah. Yep. So they look confusing, but they're not. So those black squares right there, those are your parts number. Up your sprues. And everything else is just painting. I'm pretty happy. Here's a 1/32 scale one, and vacuum form. But they look about the same. This is going to be SB2C1. This is going to be the 4. Not the Valiant. Yep. So far, there ain't no fit issues. I tape those. I let it tape up with viewing this, guys. It depends on the kit. You just got the clean stuff off. That is one of the problems with fit issues with kits. In general, it don't matter nowadays, new kits or old kits, is the preparation of parts to make sure it's nice and sanded and clean and flush. And the parts should fit easily. Because they come out of the screw trees, they leave those little nubs, little tits, little bevels sticking out. And they pose problems and fit issues and things. They will cause fit issues. Yes, they will. Everything can be pushed out by thousandths of an inch. And that'll affect one part to another, to another, to another, to another. And so far, I don't think this thing needs any filler. Sand those joints real well. And yeah, this thing is, I've got no problem now. Yeah, that's about it right there. Okay, guys, I'm out of here right now. I got things to do, places to go. So we'll catch you guys on the next video. Make mom happy, take care of the little ones, and be aware of your surroundings, and spin wisely and drive. And we'll do another live action. I'll probably do a live action on my B26 that Veronica, the thing, baby. We'll go on. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. It's Frankie Day Model signing off. We'll catch you guys on the next video. We'll see you next one. Take care, Mama.